Yeah. Yeah.
Detsamma. Ja, men alla som är godkända. Det är ingen som tror på mig längre. Efter 3 år liksom. Bara, nej. Alla bara sitter på ökan. Det bara steg upp igen. Ja, det är bra. Ni har lärt er.
Okay. Yeah. So where should we start today? Have you ever prepared for having, well, this kind of lecture presentation, and then you sit there and you're feeling calm and everything is okay? I'm in control, and I'm just going to check that it really works on this machine also. So then you do it like half an hour before you're actually going to go up there having your presentation, and it doesn't work. And you're getting this error message, and you're so used to just telling, "Hi, students, it's all in the error message. Just read it, and you can always fix it." And then you sit there and you just stare at it. I really don't know what this is. And then you start looking at the watch. What is my backup plan? What should I do? The database doesn't work. I have no slides. Should I go through the code without actually making it work? Yeah. Well, if you haven't been there yet, I guess you will be sometimes before having a sort of live presentation for all your managers, new project. So I tried this well, half an hour ago. It really didn't work. So I guess I fixed it. I guess most of the error messages could be fixed, even if you just don't know what it's like. So there is no slides today. So we're just going to go. Today we're going to try the coding way. And the item for today, this whole Monday, is then section 5, assignment 5. It's PHP programming, and it's databases. So let's try to see how much we can sort of get on PHP from just coding. Status check. How many of you have done PHP programming before? Some of you? Yeah. Okay. So some people to ask if we are in trouble later on then. So before we start, let's have a status check on where we are, just to see. Okay, this week then, PHP MySQL today. It's section 5, so we are really halfway through the course once we've done this. And yeah, I think this is the week, this is almost the final week when we're meeting both Monday and Friday. So after this week and next Monday, the project has started, all techniques are out there, more or less. And for the rest of the course, we'll sort of meet once a week instead. So we started a bit speedy and then it's going a bit down, but you have a lot of work to do. So Okay, Monday, Friday. And let's see, did I have, nope, I had, yeah, that one. Just to check up, this was the last week, week 2, right? In the middle of assignment 1 and 2. Now we are sort of here. So I guess most of you are already done with these 2 first assignments. Maybe you have done assignment with JavaScript also. Assignment 4, ongoing with Node.js. And now we're going to start this PHP MySQL. And yeah, it's going to be PHP MySQL this week. We're going to have a lecture with some questions or small investigation about frameworks Friday. And we're going to start the C#, ASP.NET, Microsoft stuff assignment also this Friday. So a lot of stuff happening. And the project. Okay. Yeah. So. And what do we have more? I have a, let's just remove some stuff there. There. Let's remove. I just want to see. So I made a README. What are we going to do today? Just a quick status checkup. We did that. Project released Friday. Yep. So I put up all the requirements. Basically, that's what is left on the project specification. So I put them up on Friday. You basically know what you are going to do. Choose techniques. Get your group. So be prepared Friday. Something about installing PHP and the database. Yes, just a quick review of what, and you do it on your own. Then we're going to code. Let's just quickly review how you code some SQL, just a table, set it up, insert, update, delete. Just a quick one, because that is what we're going to do later on, but we're going to do it with PHP. So we're going to use PHP to do insert, update, delete, select. We're going to just some basic example on how to use PHP. Yes, we can have that. Review how we work with PHP towards the database. So we're working with something called PHP PDO. It's PHP data objects, and that is sort of a data access layer, which makes it possible to code PHP and connect to some database. Well, not any database, but a lot of databases we can connect to from PHP PDO. So it's a generic interface to connect to many databases. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to call what we usually call CRUD, create, read, update, delete. So it's the basic database questions. If you're going to do like an administrative interface working with a database, so you have users, you can add the user, you can update the user, you can read all users and show them in a table, you can delete them. So we're going to do all that CRUD thing. Using something called HTML forms. So creating forms makes it possible to push, post data to the server and deal with the data on the server. And let's see if we can do this all before lunch. And after lunch, I'll have some, perhaps some small thing about troubleshooting could be useful to know. Well, let's see. Okay, So let's start somewhere. SQL. Let's see if this works. I would like to know if this works. You know what this is? Anyone know how to code bash? Oh, yeah. Ask him then. Good. So let's see if this works. I'll let you know afterward. After work. After. Whatever. There we go. I must have my. Where is my? Oh, there we are. So I'm here. Have I changed anything in the repo? Perhaps. Oh yeah, I have that and that. Well, maybe it doesn't matter for now. So I have a repo here. In the course repo, I have an example called SQL, and there are some files there. And we'll go through them now somehow. Let's see if it just works. I don't think this will work for you, so but maybe it works for me, for my environment. Ooh, password. And there we go. Yes, seems to work. Let's go back to see what I actually did or what it was. We can open it up in the editor instead. This is just when I'm working with databases, it usually comes up a lot of SQL files. Oh, well, at least when I work with a database from start, having nothing, I need to set it up. And then I save all my work in these files, and for some reason I get to a new machine and I need to, like this morning when everything worked fine at my desktop machine at home. But it didn't work this morning here, so I actually used this file a couple of times to get me up and running. So it's a script file. Any terminal program or terminal command you can put up in a Unix terminal, you can also write in here. So it's just a collector of commands. Very useful if you're going to do these commands many times. So if you see that up there, should we're going to drop the middle one, right?
Or we drop. No.
Okay.
All of them. It's like outside.
All of them. It's going to be so dark. Jeez. Okay, it's going to be a dark day today. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let me just walk you through this. It's not a big issue, but it's still useful stuff like this. And these are just some variables set up. And then I run a command a few times. So I run commands using the terminal client for MySQL. Have you all used the terminal client? MySQL shell. So it would be more or less the same then, I guess. Let's say that. So then you might be aware that I can run the command, have a user, add the password, I can add a port, host, and I can read all the files from an SQL file. Does that seem fair to you? Okay? Yeah. So I run a lot of files here. Create the user, I create the database, I create the scheme for the database, the table that is. I insert some data and I do just to select so it works. So the database I'm setting up here is more or yes, let's stick to it. So the database. Let's review those two first. So I'll be working with MySQL for now, since that is what I have here on my machine currently. So you aware how to create users on MySQL? Yeah. Okay. So this might be if it doesn't do it like this, that might turn into trouble. Did you create your users like that before? No. No. Okay. Yeah. So maybe not. We'll remember if you get some when you create your user then, and you for some reason get user denied depending on some password algorithm, authentication algorithm, then we might need to add this. So this is the way to create the user, and there are some script for it. The only difference with the MariaDB user, if you go that way, so you can use MariaDB or MySQL, doesn't matter, is just that line there with the old password algorithm. It's there because since somewhere in the beginning of MySQL 8.0, they added a new authentication algorithm, and so that works fine when you have the terminal, when you have Workbench, when you have your database server, and everything is up and running above 8.03, I think it was. So then it works. But then you're going to connect with some older sort of terminal clients, or older PHP, or older Node.js interfaces. And they don't have this latest authentication algorithm. So then you need to create the user with a backwards compatible password or authentication algorithm. So that's why we having that one. Well, let's try to remember that when we if it turns into trouble later on. Okay, yeah, let's just have a quick review. Create a database and drop it. I do it like this. I create a table and drop it. Just a small table. We don't need to have a complex database, just for showing this off. And we do insert some data into the table, just to play with. Yeah, we can select it. So this bash file in general sort of runs all those commands in order for me to be able to create it then. So minus P1VV06 WebSoft. How am I run? Can I do like this? Just for the fun of it. Let's see. Tech maybe my table was. Okay, yep, oops. There we go. So, okay, so we have a database. Let me just see what I have for kind of databases. Show databases. And if you did Workbench, you did the same thing I'm doing here, so it's just another client. So I'm not doing anything different. And so I have WebSoft. Could I assume that you are pretty familiar with the database? I think I'll do that. Yeah. So use WebSoft then, and we can really, show tables. I only have one table. Select from tech table. Okay, good. Insert into, just a quick reminder on what we're doing. Insert into tech. What are the columns? I could add a label. I could add a type. Let's add values for that, and let's add then, what do we have here? We have node.js, and this is about server side JS, and we add another row for the fun of it, and we add that to be JavaScript. And client side JS, something like that. It's insert, yes, looks nice. Let's see, select. Okay, we have 2 new rows. We have an auto incremented ID, and just, what do we have? Show create table tech. Let's see if we can review that in something like that. So we have the tech table. It got an ID, a label, and a type. That one is a character. That is a variable character. That is an integer, auto-incremented primary key. There is the primary key. Okay, so we're aware of this, how this table works. And select from tech, and let's do the 2 last thing. Update. How do we write an update set? Update label. Update tech. Set. What should we set? Set the label to be Apache 2, where ID is equal to 1. Let's see. Yep. Query OK, 1 row affected, rows match 1, changed 1 row, OK. Let's see again. Yeah, Apache 2. Should we delete something? Delete from tech. Oop. Limit 1. It's a really bad way to do deletes. So where ID equals 6. Yes. Okay. So there we go then. That is basically all the SQL commands we need to work with database table then. So let's close this MySQL part then. Let's start up a, oops, not that one. Unable to connect. Let's go to, I think I will have, I do a work here. Let's do work. Let's do PHP. Unable to connect. So I guess I need a web thing to make this work. So I've installed this XAMPP, so I'm on the Mac. I can't see what it says, but I think that is the start thing. So I just start up Apache. And it's green, nice. We go there, connect to So I asked you when you install this, just a quick note, that to do some symbolic link, make link on Windows, to I've made a link that I called Moose, I think, and it is a symbolic link. I saved it in application/80docs, or if you're on Windows, it's c:\\examp/80docs, and I made it link to where my course repo is. So when I say Moose, I think it's my home directory, and I have this one, I have this one, I have the example. Let's be there and create a no, let's not go to Websoft. Let's go to here instead, perhaps. Oops. There we go. So here is my yeah. Let's go there. So I'm going to start up from the beginning, I think. Let's see. Close that one. Websoft. Work. Let's do it from the beginning. Folder. PHP. There we go. And new file. play.php. So here we go. No spaces at the end of that, I think. So there we go instead. Echo hello. Let's see if it works. We need to start somewhere. So I have, where am I? Report. Let's go up. PHP. Play. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so we have a PHP page or program working. So the basics, name the file .php, and it will be a PHP file. So when you are on your web browser and you want to get this play.php, so the web browser does like it always does. It goes to the URL that you have sort of trying to request, and I'm going to my Apache web server. So my Apache web server gets this request, and it sees that it's labeled .php. So it will then take that file, because it knows that when I have a .php file, I need to sort of work with that in another way if it was a .html file. If it is an HTML file, Apache will just go and grab the file on the file system, take it up, and send its content back. It doesn't process it in any way. It's just a matter of finding the file, delivering it back. But now, when we have this PHP file, we have sort of configured Apache, or XAMPP has done it for us. So it's configured Apache to say, okay, everything that's labeled .php, run it through the PHP parser. And then, take the output from the PHP parser and use that as an ordinary sort of content to send back to the web browser. So we are getting the opportunity to sort of hand code something here before we are actually writing out the HTML pages. So we could do we have here let's do a quick one there. So variables let's do some small coding. Variables in PHP looks like this. Or message, it could look like Mumintrollet. Well, that's a bit Swedish, but anyway, Mumintrollet. So in PHP, a variable starts with a $sign, and then it's more or less like an ordinary identifier. You set it up with a mix of small, capital, another message. It's another message too, even. Mumintrollet lives in. You don't say Finland. You say Finland. Well, we say Finland. Okay. So that is how variables works. And if we want to do sort of print them out, there are some ways, but if you just want to print them out, you know, string concatenation is a dot in this language, so it's not a plus sign, it's a dot instead. So $message could be, and we could do like that, and we do another string concatenation with $another message, semicolon at the end. There we go. Most likely it works. We won't even try that now. We just move on. Okay, so let's make some more. And we have a die or dice, whatever. I wonder how we need to randomize. I think we can randomize between 1 and 6 perhaps. So we've got a die. If this die is, we just play around so you get this ordinary construct in the program language. So just good. Okay, it looks like Java. Well, or .node. Well, you know. Okay, so if the die is larger than 1, echo good roll, good, God, good. Well, whatever. Here we go. Nice roll. That's easier. Okay. And echo. You rolled a $die. There we go. You have heard about string interpolation. They usually call it that when you have a string and you put a variable into it. And so they call it string interpolation because the value from the variable is extracted and put into the string. So that thing is another way of doing this one where we did string concatenation. So this is just another way of doing that. Let's see how this looks like when we're going to execute this program. So there we go somewhere. Ooh, wow, it's an error. So let's read it. Syntax error, unexpected end of file, expecting a comma sign or a semicolon, always have semicolon at the end. Play.php on line 17. Okay. Play.php, line 17. Okay. Thank you. Semicolon. Let's do it again. Reload. Okay. So everything comes up on the same line here. But if I look at the page source, yes, everything comes up on one line also. Okay. I want to have, let's make this a bit more nice here. I want to have a new line, right? So there we go, we have a new line there. Let's make a new line. And let's make another new line. Okay, so there we go. Just to get acquainted how this actually works in the web browser. So I reload this page now. Nothing much happened. Still on one line. Okay. Let's see here. I reload. This is the source view of it. Hello, lives in Finland. Hello. Hello. Did we have a hello also? Oh, there we had. There we go. Reload. Okay. Nice roll. You rolled a 4. So let's see this. This is the web page I sort of created. So we should think of it like it's an HTML page that we have created, but we just did it with some PHP code. But everything is on one line. But when I use this and see this view the page source, I get up this thing, and here we get them on separate lines. And this could be could be useful to know, at least. So we have, think of the browser. The browser gets the result from the web server. The web server sort of runs through PHP program, delivers the actual output from the PHP program, and sends back to the web browser. So when we look at this view source code, that is the pure output of the PHP program as Apache saw it. So this is the actual output. Here is the source code for this HTML page. But then the browser takes this source code and it do some parsing and it assume, okay, I think this is an HTML document. And then it format it like this. And this \n, where we're used to getting a new line there. Well, the new line doesn't really work in a web page. So this is a web page, and if we want this to look like a web page, we need to format it as a web page. So we need to format it. Nice roll, yes. So that really doesn't matter for the web page, but perhaps this one would matter. Or even doing a break could also matter. So let's see how this looks like when we run it in the browser now. Okay, yeah, now I'm okay with this. Looks a bit more like a web page, so. And if we use the source code, yeah, it looks like this. The difference between how the browser is showing off the page and the source code could be very handy when you're doing troubleshooting, because you might want to look on both these views on what's actually happening in the whole flow then. Okay, and let's do, what should we do? Let's make, we can move on there. We can do let's create a lotto row. Oh, another lotto row. Yeah, let's do a lotto row. Running out of imagination. So we have a lotto. Let's make a lotto. Lotto equal nothing like, there we go. Square bracket is an array in PHP. So let's make for loop, $i equals 1 dollar I less than 10, 7, almost, dollar I plus plus. Yep, let's just see that it works like a natural. So dollar lotto, add to this array something that could be randomized from 1 to 35, end of story, and there we go. Okay, how could we print that? Yes, we have one nice to have debugging utility when you run into trouble, like we're doing console.log, and that is JavaScript, that is. So doing the same here in this web world could be to do a var dump. It dumps the whole content of the variable, including its sort of types, the types it looks to have. So let's see how it looks like. In the source code, it looks like this, okay? And on the actual web page, it looks like that. But I really don't want to be in the source code that much, so I think I would like to have it a bit more like pre-formatted. Can I get it pre-formatted? So add a yes, there I could. So let's just see what we did. We added an HTML tag for pre-formatting, and now we can actually sort of debug our program, just printing out the content of the variable. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So we have // for a for a comment, and we can do a lot of /. I just wanted to show that you could also do like another comment. So works the same in JavaScript, and you will also sometimes you see this. This is a doc block comment. You see it on the top of the pages, and it's for documentation purpose usually. This is a doc block comment, and that it's basically this style that it started, and this type of comments is available in many languages, so it's not specific for here. You saw them in JavaScript, Node.js, the programs we saw also. Okay. So let's save this, and let's see that it works. And oops, save, go there, reload. Yes, it works. Let's make another run. And let's make another. Could we duplicate this? Yes, we could. And let's make it a lotto then. There we go. And okay, so now we all know how to code a PHP program, more or less. At least we know the basic constructs. We have variables, we have if statements, for loop, you have a while loop. So you have the same thing that you're more or less used to when you're entering a new programming language. But it looks a bit messy if you ask me. So how should we actually make this a better code structure if we were to sort of, we want to code the lotto row of today. So how should we sort of make this look? How would be a better way to do this? So if we think of how is the actual Apache parsing this page? Apache is finding their resource named lotto.php. It reads the file from disk. It sends it to the PHP parser. The PHP parser will parse everything within these two sort of PHP element or PHP tags. In the parser, let's do it like this. So this is in the parser. This is lotto outside the PHP parser. Oops, yeah. Let's check out the lotto row of today. But if I want to be really nice, I could do like doc type HTML. Yes. Meta char set equals UTF-8. I could link to the style sheet. Do I have a style sheet? Work there. I have it in my report page. How do I link to a style sheet? I do like this. I do like that. So I copy that and I put it into my lotto. And I put it here. A bit rough. Lotto page. Style sheet now. Okay, it's not. I need to go up there and into the report library. My favicon is ... It's also in the report library. Yeah, okay. So here we have, let's separate it like this. So here we have PHP together with HTML then. And the PHP parser will parse everything that is in this area here. That is PHP code. And then everything that is outside, it will just sort of echo out. So, two different areas of the file. It's PHP code, or it's just plain vanilla whatever I put there. HTML, or could be JavaScript for that purpose also, style sheet, whatever. Okay. So let's see if this could be a beginning of a lotto page, maybe. Yeah, if we try to load it, maybe. Let's start. Oops. There we go. I have a lotto page. So, okay, so you see this, and you see in the parser that comes first, and then the other things come outside of the PHP parser. And if we review the source code just to get how does it look like, it looks like this. So this was the thing we printed from the PHP part, and then the whole other thing comes. Okay, nice. And so a basic, there are a lot of different PHP programs out there. And some of you might sort of join a company and go back there and get some very old code. And that code could look like, it could look like this, or like the last example we worked. It's a bit messy. It's sort of, maybe it's not the best structure. It's all sort of HTML mixed with PHP elements, all in the same file, or in a large file perhaps. And they mixed in JavaScript client-side script tags, inline CSS style. So a lot of different things that can happen in one sort of web document. So if you're going to do this, I would propose a tiny bit of structure, and the structure will differ depending on the general layout of your application. So are you sort of writing a small application just with pages? Yeah, you can do it like this. On the other hand, if you're going to write, like we'll look on Friday, sort of PHP framework style, you will have a completely different style of your code. You will wrap it in classes, and it will look very much structured and organized. So this is a bit rough, but this is where we all starts. And I'm going to continue this right after the break that we'll have until 20 past. 20 past, is it okay? Yeah. Say yes. Thank you. 20 past. And then we continue.
För ett tag sedan